best time to be on a river is at dawn. Few days start better than when you're on the water. Sometimes, though, you have to drive a bit to get there. But having an entire waterway to yourself is worth getting up early and logging the miles. When your paddle first hits the water, your perception of your surroundings change. Instead of miles, distance is measured in hours and number of bridges passed. Stress and distractions melt in the wake of your canoe. Fort Wayne is fortunate enough to have not one, but 3 rivers running through town: St. Joseph, St. Mary's, and the Maumee. And each is seemingly as beautiful as the next. By embracing its greatest natural resources, Fort Wayne invites its residents to explore these incredible outdoor corridors within its city limits. Multiple parks have been built along the banks, with more in the works. Many bridges are accented by artwork. There are plenty of signs marking access points. As I head downstream, I pass Stevie's Island. The island hosts a couple of rope swings and a fire pit. The island is named after Steve Jones, who loved and cared for it through his childhood and as a young adult. Sadly, Steve died in a construction accident, but he'd be happy to know that local residents are maintaining his and the island's legacy.
Not a bad way to start the morning.
And of equal importance, they have dedicated crews assigned to keeping the rivers free of log jams and reducing the amount of trash. His niece is the one who shared Steve's story with me. Like her uncle, she treasures Fort Wayne's rivers and serves as the city's riparian manager.
Ahoy!
Casey Jones and her crew met me on the St. Joseph River, lashed my canoe to their barge, and then took me on an incredible river tour of Fort Wayne.
I'm lucky enough to have my dream job. I get to work outside, I get to help people, and I get to help the environment. I love working on the rivers because it makes such an impact. You help people who've always been on the rivers, they can see the difference that we're making. You help people get on the rivers because they see it's clean, and you help the environment with invasive species removal and log jams and any debris, anything that we can do.
Casey and her crew would not be working for the city if Fort Wayne didn't have dedicated Parks and Recreation leadership. Steve McDaniel, director of the Parks and Recreation Department, has worked in the department for nearly 30 years. He's clearly dedicated to the stewardship of the rivers, as well as building parks that celebrate them.
Fort Wayne has really embraced its rivers over the last decade. We have determined that it's important to get back to our rivers and use them to have activities, boating, and other things along our rivers. We have several parks that are along our rivers in Fort Wayne, and that ties us all into the action of being able to be on the water and close to the water to do our recreation. It also has provided a lot of new development, new buildings, new activities that are adjacent to the rivers, and that's really what Fort Wayne has embraced.
What I like about urban river settings is that, I don't know if the microphone's picking up on this, but there are car noises around me. There's a dump truck backing up. But clearly I'm on a river and enjoying nature. But I'm getting city sounds as well. And if I wanted to, I could jump off the river, go to McDonald's and grab a cheeseburger and fries if I wanted to. And what I like about that is, for people who are not comfortable in the outdoors, this gives them a great opportunity to kind of try it out but not be overwhelmed by it. I mean, I've already caught a fish. I've already seen a great blue heron. I had a beaver swim in front of me. And I'm spending time on a river that's just gorgeous. And you can't see this, of course, but there's a red-tailed hawk that's off to my right. So to be able to have places like this and introduce people to nature, but just in small doses, can lead to bigger adventures. Not every adventure has to be 8 days on the White River. They can be just one-day outings on a river that's in your backyard. What I also like about Fort Wayne is there's a campground right on the river. Johnny Appleseed Campground is right by the Coliseum. And here again, it's not the most wild camping spot that you'll have, but it's a great introduction and a great spot if you're spending time in Fort Wayne and want to spend some time on the rivers. So I recommend exploring at least one of the rivers in Fort Wayne when you get a chance.